This episode of Buzz is brought to you by Podium, the premier messaging platform that helps customers interact with your practice. Podium, messaging made simple.
Welcome to another episode of Buzz. I'm your host, Brad, and we have a special guest, Jack Ringer, DDS. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brad. Good seeing you, bears and all.
Yeah, I think they're related, aren't they?
I hope so.
Yeah. How's everything going, bud? What have you been up to?
Just playing pandemic games. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to move along and try to enjoy life. What about you?
Wait, have you been back to a movie yet? Have you been to the movies yet?
Actually, yes. I went and saw Godzilla and King Kong the other day.
How was that?
The movie or this experience?
Both.
So the experience was phenomenal because it felt like a little bit of normal, but they're taking really good safety precautions. I don't work in my practice on a Monday, so I went there, and in the big, huge auditorium, besides me, there were 4 other people, so I felt pretty safe.
You're closed on Mondays, and this is one of those things I just find inspiring that you've done for over the years. Like, how have you done that? Like, what's your strategy on going Mondays off? Is that the ultimate hack? What do you think?
Well, for me, there was a couple of reasons. Growing up as a kid, I hated Sundays because Monday was school. So now I love my Sundays because Monday I have the day off too. So Sunday's like a Saturday.
So nice.
So by the time Tuesday rolls around, it's the middle of the week. So the week goes by quicker. Not that I'm really rushing, because I really love being in my practice.
Of course.
You know, it's not a chore or a job. I really dig it. But Monday, no one's around. I get to do a lot of stuff, like go to movies or whatever. It's quieter. Yeah. And most guys are off on Friday. So I just wanted to be the rogue guy and do something different.
Well, you're very contrarian. I like that.
Yeah. So, 100 years ago when I started my practice, meanwhile, talking of that, in 2 months, on June 15th, I'd be in my office 40 years.
Are you serious?
40-year anniversary coming up.
Congratulations. Did you open up when you were like 4 years old, dude? That's amazing.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Child prodigy.
That's genius, man. 40 years. That's a big date, June 15th for everyone here in California too. So that's great.
Crazy.
Well, man, that's great.
When I started, I was working Monday through Friday and most of Saturday. And then as time went by and practice was able to sustain myself, itself, I took off most of Saturday. I just worked in the morning, and then eventually got rid of Saturday. And then I started dumping the Monday. And ever since then, working Tuesday through Friday has been awesome.
Any other Jack Ringer hit hacks besides that Monday off that kind of stand out of like, oh, wow, what a great call that was implementing that, whether it was getting involved with AACD or something else?
Well, yeah, because, in my day, like I just said, 40 years ago, the dental environment was totally different. Mm-hmm. We didn't have corporate dentistry. Even cosmetic dentistry was just starting. We certainly didn't have what we're doing right now with internet and podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. And back then, the cosmetic bug hit me. And, I have a bedroom community practice, which was kind of like the norm back then. These practices in shopping malls or a single practitioner in a medical building and stuff. Nowadays, overhead is so horrendous. Corporate dentistry is taken over. It's really hard for a young guy to develop like a little small boutique-ish style practice. So my saving grace was I kept it boutique-y and focused in the cosmetic world, and obviously getting involved with the AACD and doing a lot of teaching and stuff like that has given me a well-rounded practice and life. I get to travel and lecture and network, meet people like you, go to meetings, plus do my wet finger dentistry in my practice. So it's just made made for a nice variety in my life. So
Yeah.
I recommend anybody create something to get out of their own little bubble in their practice, have some outside activities, whether it be related to their practice or otherwise,
Yeah.
to make life fun.
Just recently, we helped you implement like the virtual smile consultations on the website. Like, why'd you feel there was a need for that? And do you think it's a good idea for especially offices, focused on smile makeovers and cosmetic dentistry to offer some type of virtual smile consultation?
So even prior to COVID, that seemed like a smart way to go. COVID really solidified the need for that because people were scared to leave their homes. And they wanted to at least start making preparations or get their questions answered, and being able to talk to them virtually and look at them in real time, maybe send a picture or have a live video feed. It is immensely informative for both parties. Mm-hmm. I have been a strong advocate in my practice of the consultation period in my office, particularly when it comes to cosmetics. It's a very personal endeavor, and there has to be a mutual trust and understanding between the patient and the practice. So I would always have patients come in. We wouldn't charge them or anything, and they'd sit and I'd block off a bunch of time just for us to plant the seed, get to know each other, this and that, look at pictures, blah, blah, blah. Well, the virtual consult allows me to do that as well. It can really bring in maybe another segment of the population that they may say, oh, your office is 10 miles away. I'm not sure I want to drive all the way over there just to talk to you, and maybe I don't want to come in. This way, they can get to know me, I can get to know them. Having it virtually, it doesn't really waste a lot of people's time, so I can find time in my day when there's some downtime or whatever and schedule my virtual consultations with the patient then. So yeah, it's very, very cool. I'm glad I've got this on my website. What, interestingly enough, when you and I were talking about it and got it put on the website, I mean, it was almost like kismet, but a lady called us or contacted our office shortly after that and wanted to do something virtually.
And the patient uploaded, she actually used the virtual smile consultation we built on your website?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is awesome. All right, tell us about this.
Yeah, she put her name in and everything in her email, and then Kimberly, my front office, contacted her via email, and eventually they made verbal communication.
Yep.
And a real compliment to Kim is that when I eventually did speak to the patient, she was just so blown away by the way that whole thing was structured and how Kim handled it. Thought, what a great staff. So the patient uploaded a picture of her problem. She had broke a veneer that was put on a while back and wasn't sure how to handle it. And she got a recommendation to see me. So we hooked up and connected virtually, and she booked an appointment. So it was, it's beautiful. Like a no-brainer.
And what did that process look like? So Kimberly, amazing rock star team member, after that potential new patient at the time, now an actual patient, submitted that picture of the broken veneer, did you just call, or what was the communication method you used to actually do that virtual smile consultation?
So when she wanted to do the actual consultation, she scheduled a time with me. So Kimberly said, okay, Dr. Aaron can see you, blah, blah, blah. And at that appointment time, I called her on the phone. She wanted just to speak, not have face-to-face. She just wanted to speak and have me look at her picture. So I downloaded her picture, and we just chatted on the phone. And it just seemed very comfortable and relaxed and organic.
Great.
And we just moved from there. It was very, very effective, very cool. So we're looking forward to promoting this type of service more now for our existing patients and new patients.
So that's great. I want to like talk a little bit more about the virtual smile consultations because we're a huge fan of this, even in normal time. Offering a virtual smile consultation, it might be great for you to reach out to someone who didn't convert over the years. They were interested in veneers or implants, and you could reach out, by the way, Dr. Ringer or so-and-so is doing virtual smile consultations. Plus, for new patients, to provide that option to reach out, we love it. So I'm just curious. I know it's just been a few months since we built this on your website. Have there been any other experiences where someone did reach out with the virtual smile consultation and there's been any other different types of communication methods or experiences you'd like to share with our audience so they can kind of figure out what to do with their consults moving forward?
Yeah, so we've had a couple where the patient would like to chat and talk to me, and be it more face-to-face, like live.
Sure.
In each of the cases that I can think of right now, before they wanted to step out, the COVID thing is making them a little bit more restrictive about getting out of the house. So they wanted to try stuff a little bit more virtually. So built into the service we have with Podium, they have a video chat option.
Nice.
So we could set up with the patient where, like you had mentioned before, and I totally agree, that they don't have to jump off to a different landing page or a different site, but just through Podium's video chat, I can connect with the patient and we can just consult. And it can work both ways, by the way. They could be calling me in a sense to, there's a new patient.
There's a new patient there. 3 in the last 20 minutes. It's fantastic.
The patient may reach out to me and say, you know what, I saw your name. I'm interested in getting some veneers. I just want you to look at my smile, blah, blah, blah. And we have this video chat.
Yeah.
But another option that I like to utilize or want to utilize more is there are patients that we may be just starting therapy, or we're trying to get them to maybe pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And we could be getting some of the preparatory stuff done, like a smile design. And rather than have them come in, I can contact them and say, hey, look, let's turn on video chat. Here's a picture of your model that we made.
Yeah.
You're going to get these type of temporaries, or this is the procedure.
Yeah.
So they don't have to waste time coming in just to check something for 15 minutes.
It's a no-brainer. And, well, that's awesome. Genius that you are using video chat already on the virtual smile consults, because it's already part of your Podium platform with the reviews and web chat, and it's HIPAA compliant. It's so easy, and it's your own chat. It's like you don't need another solution, and then it's a quick thing. Here's the thing with the virtual smile consults. The case presentation acceptance for most people, right? What is it, 30, 40%, whatever. They come to the office, you present smile makeover, implants, whatever it is. But they're in normal times, they're at the office, you do the consult, and they either accept or they don't, right? But with the virtual smile consult, like let's say you're doing it with video chat with Podium, you're getting all that out of the way. They get to meet you, they see the office, you talk rough numbers, costs, maybe procedures involved. Then if they decide to book and come to your office, you're going to have like an 80 or 90% acceptance rate on case presentation probably, because you've gotten all that stuff out of the way already.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
100%. And, being integrated into the website, et cetera, patient also, they can tour the office virtually. We can talk virtually.
Yeah.
Though it's almost like you're really there because of technology now.
Yeah.
You almost can touch them. Pretty soon this will be holographic and everything will be three-dimensional, but
well, you laugh about that, dude. You're 100% spot on, bro. So this book right here called Quantum Marketing, it's by Raja Manar. He's the head of marketing for MasterCard. It's all about mastering the new marketing mindset for tomorrow's consumers. You're joking. You actually nailed it 100%. The fifth paradigm of marketing is all about augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. Dude, you'll be walking down the street, you'll see a billboard or driving by one. It'll be like, Jack, Ducks game next weekend. It'll be speaking specifically based on you. Like, It's going to be next level. And I actually think VR, that is 100% where it's going, dude. Because can you imagine? Because right now you have a 360 virtual tour for your practice, so someone can actually see inside the office. But that's just a generic. Can you imagine putting on Oculus Rift, being at your office in a 3D experience, actually having a consultation with you in the chair at your office, and actually somehow having a mold on the mouth or feeling what that smile would look at when you look in a mirror? Like, that would be a 10x in terms of just like, yeah, this is a life changer, right? So now we're sharing before and after pictures what your smile could look like. This is the after, but but actually, like, for the person to be in that 3D experience and then looking in the mirror or like interacting with someone with that smile, that'll be just like a holy cow factor. And that we're going to be there quicker than everyone expects, because the technology is already here, right? You could go on Amazon right now and buy the Oculus Rift. Like, there are people rolling this out, and it is going to be quick. And I've been like, I would say probably the next round of conferences with your ADAs, CDAs, it's always going to be in those outlier booths, not at the middle Henry Schein ones. They're great, but at a lot of the big companies, maybe a dinosaur in some capacity. It's going to be a lot of these startup cool companies on the edges who they're going to have these, and I've seen it a little bit, but even more so, they're going to have the VR goggles, and it's all going to be about case presentation, case acceptance, cosmetic dentistry. That's where it's going. You nailed it.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the consultation is huge, buddy.
Yeah.
It's been a cornerstone for my practice, meeting that patient and trying to establish that mutual interaction, trust. Are we going to work with each other, this or that?
Yeah.
So obviously we've been doing it in the analog world forever, and now we have an added component, being able to do it virtually.
Yeah.
So
has there been any other? Yeah, it's fascinating. I think last time I was at your practice, you had like 2 iTero scanners. Did you have 1 or 2? Wasn't it 2 you had?
3M COSs.
Yeah. So
sorry, TrueDef.
Sure.
2 of the TrueDef scanners. Yeah.
Is there any technology you were hesitant about getting over the years that now you have? You're like, oh my gosh, how did I not have that earlier? That you want to kind of share right now? And I know you're not being endorsed. You're not paid to do this. I'm just curious. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a type of guy that anything with an on-off switch I want. So I've always jumped into technology earlier. I think my biggest obstacle is if the technology is like too expensive to justify in my practice. Like right now, I'd love to get cone beam, CBCT scanners.
Yeah.
But it's just too expensive for my size practice right now. The costs are going to come down.
Yeah.
So when I need a scan like that, I just send it up to my oral surgeon or whatever.
Yeah.
Milling machines, again, I would use it, but it wouldn't justify the cost right now because mine's more boutique-y practice.
Yeah.
But I'm just the biggest advocate with anything with technology.
Yeah, for sure.
Technology. Yeah. Anything to get rid of the human element makes it the best.
And I agree. Whether it's a product or a service, anytime we could bring in smart technology to make our lives easier and our business run more efficiently, it's a no-brainer.
100%.
Last thing I want to just talk about, because I'm going to be seeing you soon here. I can't wait. But what's up, Cosmetic Dentistry World, AACD? What are you seeing trends? What's going on in that world?
What the AACD is doing, which is kind of unique. And I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm hoping it'll be successful. Because of COVID, they had to cancel their annual meeting for this month, for April.
Yeah.
And to try to keep people engaged and connected with the AACD, they've actually set up a series of virtual hands-on courses.
Great.
So what they're doing is they're hooking up with manufacturers, and the manufacturer will then provide the material for the dentists who sign up, and they can actually do hands-on programs in their own office virtually. So they have the instructor, on the video screen, and they can play with their composites or do whatever they're doing. And this is something that has just never been around before.
Yeah.
In education, the hands-on element is what is really demanded right now at meetings, because sitting in meetings and just listening to people talk it's not as popular anymore because you can do what we're doing right now. Just sit on a computer, go onto your iPhone, whatever. You don't have to get onto a plane and travel to see Brad Newman. You can just, log on to any of his podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
So for the hands-on element, that's what dentists need. So that's the big thing going on right now.
I really love that. You were part of that whole initiative, huh?
Well, I'm involved with it. Yeah, hosting one of them coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm still very involved with the academy. So we're still working strongly on our for 2022's annual meeting in Florida.
Well, I want to just say something. So AACD is amazing. We just became a corporate member, which I'm stoked about. But if anyone listening is a part of AACD or your AGD, SPARE, whatever associations, make sure you add those logos to your website, especially your homepage. Those are called trust signals. And we recommend adding them right up under the header image on your homepage. They're really powerful. So if you have these associations, local awards, those logos should all be really obvious and top of mind with people considering booking at your practice. Like Jackson accredited member, accredited fellow, past president of AACD. There's a special logo for that. So that's a really strong trust signal. And we can't assume that potential patients know that you're a part of ADA or the Dental Sleep Academy, like all these things. So make sure you put trust signals on your website and join the associations that you want calls for, right? Like if you want to do cosmetic dentistry, like I don't understand how you don't join AACD. Like if you're going to want to do like dental sleep apnea, you got to join like what is it, AAD, American Academy Dental. That's what, yeah, that's what, yeah. So you got to join those things, and so I know people find your practice new patients from AACD.com, the directory, Jack, and so they go there direct also, but also just to link back from there is great. So trust signals are a no-brainer to add on a regular basis. We like to change those to the same color palette as the practice. So if your practice color palette is green and blue, like your logo, all those logos can be changed just for better design. But most importantly, just add them to the website. And I think that's really important just for better conversion on dental websites. Everyone, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Buzz. And I want to thank Jack Ringer, our special guest. It's always a pleasure. If you incorporate some of the things Dr. Ringer mentioned, you'll have way more practice success, enjoy practicing dentistry, and without question, you'll be a Wizard of Buzz.
Podium is the premier messaging platform that helps boost your practice 3 ways: driving customer reviews, turning site traffic into text messages with web chat, and generating real-time feedback. To see more, go to podium.com/buzz for a special offer.